Why aren't we in court? Does anyone remember what happened at the end of the stream last time? I think had we just proven that yet another one of the witnesses for the defense or for the prosecution hadn't actually committed the crime while absolutely failing to defend our actual client.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said.
What'd she say?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures.
I'm pretty sure this would be an unnecessary flashback if it weren't for the fact that it's been a week since we last played.
That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
Well then.
I didn't know.
You didn't know that your sister was a monster. Okay. I believe you. She's not actually a monster. She's too hot to be a monster. Monsters aren't allowed to be sexy. Or maybe monsters are only allowed to be sexy. I don't know. Maybe by being sexy, you're automatically not a monster anymore. Is that how it works? No, because Richard Ramirez was pretty attractive. And he was definitely a little bit loopy.
I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings.
Alright. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. That's because you have your head so far up your own ass, Phoenix, that even Edgeworth can't find it. And trust me, he's sent many teams looking for it.
Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean, what happened to you?
It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Okay.
When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But
what did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
on the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you?
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me.
So that means you.
Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial.
I didn't see that one coming. That's because you're an idiot, as I've already explained, Phoenix. Even I saw that coming, and I'm a moron. Okay. Let's present her with the Blue Badger. Here, see this?
Ah, I've noticed that defense attorneys have a tendency to want to show people things.
What is this? A behavioral study of lawyers? It's not the only thing I'm going to show you, Emma. Wait, no, she's underage. Stop it. I gotta keep reminding myself that I'm a defense attorney, but I don't want to be defending myself. It seems everything is somehow related to this incident.
What was it labeled? Again, the SL9 incident.
Yes, the name of everyone connected to this trial is listed in here. All that's left is to figure out just what role everyone plays in this case. Hey Rogue, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're alive. You're sleepy, but you're here? I have tea to keep myself awake. Ah, hot. I made it just before stream. I would have been late if not for the fact that I made it. Wait, what? That sentence didn't make any sense. I made it, and actually making it was what almost made me late to stream. That's what I meant to say. Goddamn words. If we search hard enough, I think we'll find our answers. What exactly did or didn't Lana do? Isn't it only like 6 p.m. there? And a Friday.
I'm not sure I want to know everything.
Yeah, you probably don't want to know anything, actually, Emma.
It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day. Unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work.
Okay, I need to figure out if there's a way I can make these come up faster, because holy crap. Nope. There's not. That's annoying. Don't get enough sleep during the week. That makes sense.
Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office.
Joe Dark.
It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me.
He doesn't seem like the screaming type. He seems more like the hello type.
I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then...
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out suddenly. A bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now.
A permanent picture?
I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth?
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault.
I'm doing well, Foe. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing?
If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened.
I know, right? It's because she wants his body just like everybody else. But nobody can have him. Only Phoenix can have him. So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today.
She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. What did you see in the instant that the crime occurred? Chocolate poutine and a burger shake. I'm not sure I would be interested in a burger shake or chocolate poutine, but you do you, my dude. You do you.
Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma, you've been through so much.
I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable. Yeah, like I said, okay, so she's 16, just like I thought. She's a year younger than Maya, who was 17.
Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any.
Ooh. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma.
What is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor?
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course. This happened at the police department.
I almost read that as station. Like, it makes sense in my head, but definitely not the word that's on the paper.
He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective offices in the questioning room are right across from the elevator.
Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
There are so many things wrong with what was just said. But I don't think we have time to unpack all of the many, many things that is wrong with this story. That's a pretty big jump. We're just taking it at face value. Fuck it. Lana used to be a detective. I'd better have another talk with her. Maybe not so big in this universe where nothing makes sense. Hello, gorgeous.
Lana. Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble.
Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Phoenix is basically a detective lawyer, investigative lawyer. Yeah, basically.
Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks.
Lana. Emma told me about you. God, that is my favorite face.
Oh?
About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs?
I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright.
A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Ilana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana, what the witness, Miss Starr, said. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me.
I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before.
It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing.
Damn.
They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together.
Chief Gant?
He was the deputy chief.
Oh.
He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed.
Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's not a coincidence. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Did you also aspire to become a murderer?
2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark.
Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right?
Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations.
They even had the same office?
We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr.
There is definitely something going on. Like, there's some obvious corruption here, but I just can't put my finger on exactly what it is. Like, there's no way that 5 detectives, all the best detectives on the force, 2 of them one gets fired, 1 gets demoted, 1 gets transferred to the chief prosecutor's seat, and 1 gets promoted to the chief of police. All immediately after this case. And then 2 years later, right as that case is about to end, the 5th one who wasn't touched is dead. There's just like, I feel like it's gotta be Gant. Unless it is actually Lana. Like, I mean, everything else has been Danganronpa. Why not V3 Chapter 1, right? So, like, I mean, I guess it's possible. It's what's her face? That it's Lana. I don't want it to be Lana, but it could be. Oh yeah, I know. That's not the point, though. Yeah, I know it wasn't actually Kaede.
It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho.
Spoilers.
Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place.
When he tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us.
Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room.
Because doors don't lock in the... I didn't read anything Lana said.
From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me.
So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana.
It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out,
and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious.
What did you do?
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her.
Aww. It's true love. Can't blame her after all her sister must have gone through.
After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident.
That's right. Quite a coincidence, hmm?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a coincidence. I don't buy it. Good, Phoenix. You don't have your head totally up your ass. He must have pulled it far enough out to dislodge his ears.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident just by chance.
But that case was solved 2 years ago.
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall, yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he just changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories.
That case just might not be over yet. God, I love that face. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right?
Yes, in the room that in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself, the chief's office.
Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. Yeah, sure, why the hell not? I'm sure Damon will be there too. Just to make things extra weird. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere.
Things seem kind of quiet around here today.
You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same, though.
Why don't we go look for someone else, other people to talk to?
Right, we can come back here later. Howdy, Bambina.
Oh, Mr. Marshall!
I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Okay, Sarah, you never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Billy?
Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner.
But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it?
Why did prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Huh. Looks like I won't begin a steak lunch today.